Welcome to beautiful downtown, the living room. Okay, maybe that isn't for me after all. Looks like it's a fast-paced, relatively short read. Hi, I'm Sock Marionette, also known as Bargain Counter Argument, under which name you can find me on Instagram. And I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books, libraries, and related topics. Today, well, it's a little bit different. It's a kind of video I haven't done before, but I've wanted to for a while. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm an avid library user. If you haven't, welcome. And all of these books are the books I have currently checked out of the library, plus there are a couple in another part of the house because I'm in the middle of reading them. Well, my mother is also an avid library user. In fact, she is a retired librarian. And she went and picked up some books she had on the hold shelf and browsed and got some other books yesterday. I think something like a dozen books or something. She graciously allowed me to make a video where I unpack her library book bag and kind of react to what she has. She did kind of give me a warning, I guess, that she's kind of been gravitating lately toward titles with the word last in them. But I should say that she and I don't necessarily have the same taste. We do have some overlapping tastes when it comes to general fiction, and she does read thrillers and mysteries from time to time, but she does not read romance. So I'm going to take the camera and the tripod downstairs and be in a new location. I don't think I've done any videos downstairs so far, and see what my mom picked up at the library yesterday. Okay, welcome to beautiful downtown, the living room, where I am going to go through the books. The first one we have, ooh, it's pink and red, pretty. The Sweet Spot by Amy Poppel. And this looks intriguing to me. We've got a lady with a baby and a puppy. One divorce, one social media disaster, one random baby. Oh, it's a random baby, nice. And 3 unlikely friendships. Welcome to the Sweet Spot. The baby is not Lauren's. Lauren already has 3 kids, 2 Imperious House guests, and a looming deadline that could make or break her career. The baby is not Olivia's. Olivia has big dreams, but she also has a bad case of breakup remorse and a worse case of student debt. And the baby is certainly not Melinda's. Melinda and her newly minted ex were always dead set against becoming parents, and that is until someone had a change of heart. I'm guessing a younger woman was probably involved. The women may have little in common, but with the needy infant in hand, what can they do but forgive, forget, Ferberize, and find the baby's wayward parents before he starts calling one of them mommy? Smart, funny, and richly absorbing, The Sweet Spot is a celebration of modern family life and all its wonderful and maddening entanglements. Okay, maybe that isn't for me after all. Next up, we have The Last Train to London, a novel by Meg Waite Clayton. And I'm guessing this is some kind of World War II evacuee or reverse evacuee kind of deal. In 1936, oh boy, the Nazis are little more than brutish boors to 15-year-old Stefan Neumann, a budding playwright and the son of a wealthy and influential Jewish family in Vienna, Austria. Stefan's best friend and companion is the brilliant Sophie Helene, a Christian girl whose mother edits a progressive, anti-Nazi newspaper. But the 2 adolescents' carefree innocence is shattered when Hitler's forces advance. Yeah, there's more to this summary, but I am just not in a Nazi World War II kind of mood right now. So, oh, but it is actually a mystery, so maybe I should read more just to satisfy the people out there who might be interested in a mystery. There is hope in the darkness, though. Truus Weissmuller, a childless Dutch woman, risks her life to smuggle children out of Nazi-occupied lands to the nations that will take them, which, sadly, shamefully, was not a whole lot of them. It is a mission that becomes even more dangerous as countries across Europe close their borders to the growing number of refugees desperate to escape after the Anschluss, Hitler's annexation of Austria. Tante Truus, as she is known, is determined to save as many children as she can. After Britain passes a measure to take in young refugees from the German Reich, she dares to approach Adolf Eichmann, the man who would later help devise the final solution to the Jewish question. Truce then sets off in a race against time to lead hundreds of children on a perilous journey to freedom. I'm not really sure why they have it labeled as a mystery. Sounds more like suspense. Real life. Okay, and then we have the Best American Short Stories of 2024 as edited by Lauren Groff. This is an annual, and the authors included are Shastra Akela, Selena Gambrell Anderson, Maria-Elaine Bertino, Jamel Brinkley, Alexandra Chang, Laurie Colwyn, Catherine Dam, Molly Dektar, Stephen Duong, Madeline Fitch, Allegra Hyde, Tazia Kisakia, Jhumpa Lahiri, Daniel Mason, Lori Oslin, Jim Shepard, Susan Shepard, Azarine Vanderfleet Alumi, Suzanne Wong, and Paul Yoon. A lot of women in that one. I might delve into some of those. I think I'll let my mother be the canary in the coal mine, and she can tell me like which ones are good and which ones are not. Okay. Oh, okay. Private Rights by Julia Armfeld. She wrote Our Wives Under the Sea, which I've seen a lot of on Book Talk and Bookstagram, but I didn't read it myself. Let's see what this one is about. Again, this is Private Rights. It's been raining for a long time now, so long that the land has reshaped itself and old rituals and religions are creeping back into practice. Sisters Isla, Irene, and Agnes have not spoken in some time when their father, an architect as cruel as he was revered, dies. When I read Sisters Isla and Irene and Agnes, I thought they were nuns living in... Yeah, I didn't realize they were biological sisters, not nuns. Maybe they're nuns too. His death offers an opportunity for the sisters to come together in a new way. In a convent, no. In the grand glass house they grew up in, their father's most famous creation, the sisters sort through the secrets and memories he left behind until their fragile bond is shattered by a revelation in his will. The sisters are more estranged than ever, and their lives spin out of control. Irene's relationship is straining at the seams. Isla's ex-wife keeps calling, and cynical Agnes is falling in love for the first time. But something even more sinister may be unfolding, something related to their mother's long-ago disappearance and the strangers who have always seemed unusually interested in the sisters' lives. Soon it becomes clear that the sisters have been chosen for a very particular purpose, one with shattering implications for their family and their imperiled world. Yeah, I think that sounds like something I would definitely be into. Oops. Okay, next up we have The Stolen Coast by Dwyer Murphy. This is a mystery. Jack might be a polished, Harvard-educated lawyer on paper, but everyone in his down-at-heels, if picturesque, village in coastal Massachusetts knows his real job, moving people on the run from powerful enemies. The family business, co-managed with his father, a retired spy, is smooth sailing as they fill up the town's holiday homes during its long, drowsy off-season and help clients shed their identities in preparation for fresh starts. I hope they don't like ice cream or iced tea, because you cannot get that in Massachusetts in the wintertime. But when Elena, Jack's former flame, a dedicated hustler who's no stranger to the fugitive life, makes an unexpected return, her arrival upends Jack's routine. Elena, after all, doesn't go anywhere without a scheme in mind, and it isn't long until Jack finds himself enmeshed in her latest project, intercepting millions of dollars worth of raw diamonds before they're shipped overseas. Infusing a fast-paced plot with sharp wit and stylish prose, Crime Read's editor-in-chief Dwyer Murphy serves up an irresistible page-turner as full of heart as it is of drama. Not really in a mystery mood right now, but looks like it's a fast-paced, relatively short read. Okay, next up we have The Midnight Witness by Sarah Bladell. It is a mystery. A young woman is found strangled in a park, and a male journalist has been killed in the backyard of the Royal Hotel in Copenhagen. Detective Louise Rick is put on the case of the young girl, but very soon becomes entangled in solving the other homicide too, when it turns out her best friend, journalist Camilla Lind, knew the murdered man. Louise tries to keep her friend from getting too involved, but Camilla's never been one to miss out on an interesting story, and this time Camilla may have gone too far. Emotionally riveting and filled with unexpected twists, The Midnight Witness is a tour de force from international phenomenon Sarah Bladell. And it is translated by Mark Klein from, I'm assuming, the Danish. It is translated from the Danish, and apparently Louise Rick is an ongoing character, but this is the first book in the series. There was a little voice in my ear coming from across the room telling me these things. Okay, this is not marked as a mystery. This is The Last Summer at Chelsea Beach by Pam Jenoff. From the sandy shores of America to the battered streets of London, one woman's search for love and redemption will defy all odds. I'm guessing this is World War II or post-World War II. Young Adelia Monteforte begins the summer of 1941 aboard a crowded ship bound for America, utterly alone, yet free of fascist Italy. Whisked away to the seaside by her well-meaning aunt and uncle, she basks in the noisy affection of the boisterous Irish Catholic boys next door. And although she adores all four of the Connolly brothers, it's the eldest, Charlie, she pines for. But all hopes of a future together are throttled by the creep of war and a tragedy that hits much closer to home. Grief-stricken, Addie flees, first to Washington and then to war-torn London, where she finds a position at a prestigious newspaper, as well as a chance for a new beginning. But the past always nips at her heels, and in a final fateful choice, Addie will discover that the only way home may be a path she never suspected. Let me guess, it's the one not taken? Less traveled by? Okay, and now we have, The Night Ship. By Jess Kidd. And it is blurbed by V.E. Schwab, who says it's a true work of magic and one that will haunt me for years. One shipwreck, two misfits, 3 centuries apart. Ooh, I love those kinds of stories. 1629, a newly orphaned girl named Macon is bound for the Dutch East Indies on the Batavia, one of the greatest ships of the Dutch Golden Age. Curious and mischievous, Macon spends the long journey going on misadventures above and below the deck, searching for a mythical monster. But the true monsters might be closer than she thinks. Well, she's going below decks. She finds the brig. 1989. A lonely boy named Gil, who, after the death of his mother, is sent to live with his grandfather, a taciturn fisherman off the coast of Western Australia among the members of the seasonal fishing community where his late mother once lived. There, on the tiny reef-shrouded island, he discovers the story of an infamous shipwreck. With her trademark storytelling that has been praised as thrilling, mysterious, twisted, but more than anything beautifully written, Graham Norton, a New York Times bestselling author, not the Irish talk show host, Jess Kidd weaves a charming and unputdownable tale of friendship and sacrifice, brutality and forgiveness. And is she... I wonder if she's Australian. It doesn't say here. Anyway, that sounds like it might be interesting. Okay, let's see. Nope, another short one. Idle Grounds by Christelle Bamford. I wonder if she's related to Maria Bamford. Maria Bamford is hilarious. I don't know. So this is, Idle Grounds. In the late 1980s, in New England, a group of children play at the edge of a family party. While exploring their aunt's house, they lose the youngest cousin among them. But their parents are unconcerned, preoccupied by decades-old resentments and drinking beer on the deck. It sounds like the late 80s to me. So the group sets out to look for the missing child themselves, venturing out of the house and toward the rickety chicken coop, the barn with its 2 horses, and eventually the forest that was once their late grandmother's property. But the more they search and the deeper they walk, the more dangerous and otherworldly the woods become, threatening in the end to upend everything they know about themselves, their parents, and where they come from. Like a warped Nancy Drew detective story, Idle Grounds is a disquieting, delightful mystery and a gripping meditation on birthright decline and the weight of legacy. A fable about the distortions of wealth and the impossibility of truly keeping a secret. This is a novel about straying from home only to come back unraveled, unsettled, and irrevocably changed. It is not marked as a mystery, but I might give that one a shot. I don't know. Okay. Oh my goodness. She really went to town. And then we have Sarah Gio with The Last Camellia. The Last Camilla. On the eve of the Second World War, sensing a temporal pattern here. The last surviving specimen of a camellia plant known as the Middlebury pink lies secreted away on an English country estate. Flora, an amateur American botanist, is contracted by an international ring of flower thieves to infiltrate the household and acquire the coveted bloom. Her search is at once brightened by new love and threatened by her discovery of a series of ghastly crimes. More than half a century later, garden designer Addison takes up residence at the manor, now owned by the family of her husband Rex. The couple's shared passion for mysteries is fueled by the enchanting camellia orchard and an old gardener's notebook, yet its pages hint at dark acts ingeniously concealed. If the danger that Flora once faced remains very much alive, will Addison share her fate? I really like the cover. That's a nice cover. Don't think that's for me, at least not at this point in my life. And we're back with a slightly different angle because I wanted to take a little bit of a break and clear the storage on my phone so it wouldn't interrupt me mid-flow. Okay, so we still have about 3 books to go, but I don't know what they are. We have Dear Dickhead, a novel by Virginie Despentes, and I don't normally swear on this channel, but there are some words in here. Even in the summary. Dear Dickhead, I read your post on Insta. You're like a pigeon messing on my shoulder as you flap past. It's crappy and unpleasant. Wah, wah, wah. I'm a pissy little panty waist. No one loves me, so I whimper like a chihuahua in the hope someone will notice me. Congratulations, you've got your 15 minutes of fame. You want proof? I'm writing to you. Oscar is a B-list novelist in his 40s. He used to be an alcoholic and a cokehead, but now he keeps himself busy by ranting on social media. When Rebecca, an actress whose looks he insulted, sends him an angry email, they strike up a combative correspondence. At the very moment when Oscar is accused of sexual harassment by his former publicist. What ensues is a battle royale between the sexes, a romp through Paris during the aftershocks of a cultural earthquake. Virginie, I think I finally got that pronunciation correct on the first name. Virginie Despentes, the celebrated author of King Kong Theory, has written her most daring book yet, A Dangerous Liaisons, for our time. Dear Dickhead is a flame-throwing novel about a culture that makes men and women sick and about how the search for feeling leaves us addicted to what makes us feel. The result is a provocative and unmissable book from the author hailed by The Guardian as France's rock and roll Zola. I might be into this. Intriguing. Okay, and now we have Jonathan Tropper with One Last Thing Before I Go. Very colorful. You don't have to look very hard at Drew Silver to see that mistakes have been made. His fleeting fame as the drummer for a one-hit wonder rock band is nearly a decade behind him. He lives in the Versailles, an apartment building that filled almost exclusively with divorced men like him, and makes a living playing in wedding bands. His ex-wife, Denise, is about to marry a guy Silver can't quite bring himself to hate, and his Princeton-bound teenage daughter, Casey, has just confided in him that she's pregnant because Silver is the one she cares least about letting down. So when he learns that his heart requires emergency life-saving surgery, Silver makes the radical decision to refuse the operation, choosing instead to use what little time he has left to repair his relationship with Casey, become a better man, and live in the moment, even if that moment isn't destined to last very long. As his exasperated family looks on, Silver grapples with the ultimate question of whether or not his own life is worth saving. With the wedding looming and both Silver and Casey in crisis, this broken family struggles to come together only to risk damaging one another even more. One Last Thing Before I Go is Jonathan Tropper at his funny, insightful, heartbreaking best. Okay, I don't think that's really for me, at least not right now. Okay, we have one last one, which is nonfiction. 914.2, which I believe in the Dewey Decimal System is travel. The Old Ways, A Journey on Foot by Robert Macfarlane, author of The Wild Places. That's pretty. I wonder if it tells us where it is. Okay. In this exquisitely written book, an immediate bestseller in England, Robert Macfarlane sets off from his Cambridge home to follow the ancient tracks, holloways, drove roads, and sea paths that form a vast network of routes that crisscross the British landscape and its waters, connecting them to the continents beyond. The result is an immersive, enthralling exploration of the ghosts and voice that haunt old paths, of the stories that our tracks keep and tell of pilgrimage and ritual. Told in McFarlane's distinctive and celebrated voice, The Old Ways folds together natural history, cartography, geology, archaeology, and literature. His tracks take him from the chalk downs of England to the bird islands of the Scottish Northwest, and from the disputed territories of Palestine to the sacred landscapes of Spain and the Himalayas. Along the way, he walks stride for stride with the footprints that a man made 5,000 years ago near Liverpool, follows the deadliest path in Britain, as the A2, isn't it? Sails an open boat far out into the Atlantic at night, and crosses paths with walkers of many kinds, wanderers, pilgrims, guides, and artists. And diamond smugglers from that other book. So that sounds like something I would enjoy. So I think she checked out 13 books, and of them I think I'm going to read, or at least give a shot to, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe some of the short stories from Best American Short Stories 2024. So perhaps if I do read any of those, maybe I will do a reading vlog for that. I haven't decided yet, but that was a journey. That was a real journey. And I appreciate my mom allowing me to delve into her library checkouts and slew them all over the internet. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoy what you saw, then you can like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I am not the boss of you. And I hope you have a good day or night.